Hi there, and welcome to the last week. We're going to be talking about RenderWorks and rendering with Vectorworks Vision. So there's three programs that we're going to be using in this video. The first is Vectorworks, the second is Vectorworks Vision, and the third is etc Nomad. Now, Vectorworks Vision can be controlled with any lighting console software. However, Vectorworks Vision is the one, or etc Nomad is the one that I use because it's on Mac and easy open source. So make sure you have all those things downloaded. So in my Vectorworks file, I have all my lights on a truss here, and I just sort of strew about some focus points that line up to the channel number. So it's really important. This course doesn't cover magic sheets, but you should know what all your lights are and what they do for when we get into the other programs. So know which channels are 101, what that does, and have a little make a little map for yourself just so it's easy to remember things. But I also then made focus points that correspond to the channel numbers, and then in the instruments themselves, I put the focus point in here. So how am I going to get this to Vectorworks Vision? So I have Vectorworks Vision downloaded on my computer, and in just regular Vectorworks, I'm going to go to File and hit Send to Vision. Now, I'm going to warn you, this takes a lot of computing power to do. Sometimes it will crash everything, so if that happens, then we'll just have to reopen and try again. But should be, yeah, opening up to Vectorworks Vision. And now we have a new model of our stage in Vectorworks Vision. So this is in Vision now. And you can, in this, see should be able to see the different lights that are in here, and they're not showing up for me. So I'm going to go back to Vectorworks and double check that they are in the right mode. So this mode should actually say 36 degrees. So make sure your fixture mode is correct. I thought I had double checked that before starting the video, but this will be a good thing because this could happen to you too. If it doesn't have a fixture mode associated with it, then it won't export to Vision correctly. So I'm just going to go through and make sure the fixture mode is ETC 36 degree, which will correspond with the light itself. So now, if I hit File, Send to Vision, Vision will ask me, no, I don't want to save that scene. So now this should import, and in here, ETC 36 degree, there'll be all of your lights sorted by channel. So if I hit this, light turns on, 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 light turns on. So this is just focusing the light where you said it is. If you want to modify anything at this, and you can, like if you decide you want to change your color or something, you have to change it in Vectorworks as well to have it show up on your paperwork. But if you want to just see, what this looks like with a different color, you can hit over in this area over here. You can hit color wheel 1, which right now is just an open white. If you hit these little three buttons here. Oh, just taking a. Oh, yes, it uses a lot of data on the computer. So I'm going to go back to 101. And color wheel, if you hit open here, hit the three buttons. This will bring up all the different colors. So you can have, so I'm going to do like a Lee, we'll use a classic like Lee 201, right? Or we'll do 190. 194. So now, we have sort of a more lavender look to our light. So you can change your gel colors after the fact, but it should bring in gel colors with it. If it doesn't, though, you might need to put gel colors into the lights that way. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to control this now with etc Nomad, which is a lighting control software, which if you actually got a little adapter and a dongle, you could actually control lights from your laptop with it. But I'm gonna scroll over to my desktop, and I'm just gonna open up the ETC welcome screen, and I'm just gonna hit offline with Viz. And it's going to tell you that, Visualize isn't good for actual live shows, because what it does, it pops up lighting controls to full randomly. And it'll open up, if you don't have a file, it'll just open up a blank file. But for me, it opens up my last file. And with this, it's a little bit difficult to to explain the full scope of the software. So we're only going to cover the things that are really necessary and basic. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go File, New. I'm going to continue without saving. And so now we're in a blank show file, just totally blank. And all we're really doing is using this to turn lights on and off in our system. So my light channels go from 101 to 106. It's not totally important to know why you need to know the difference, but the console is looking for an address to send things out to, and Vectorworks Vision only works in channels. So what I'm going to do in the console is I'm going to go into patch, which if I hit this little plus button, I'm going to get all these different options here. I'm going to hit the patch tab. And all I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell you the exact keystrokes I'm doing, I'm going to hit 101, which is the channel name, T, which is the through button. You can also use the shift plus for and. So channel 101, T for through, 106, A, which is at for address. I'm going to hit 101 again, and I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to autofill addresses 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. I could do this manually, 101, A for at, 101, 102, A for at, 102. But that's just a sort of shortcut that I just did there. And all I'm doing is making sure that my active channels are also in an address, so that when I go to live table, these are the addresses that are active. Okay, now I also want to check it in ETC Nomad. So the way to do that, I'm going to go up here into the tools, I'm going to go to patch. Now all I'm doing in this window, and this is actually really easy because it auto fills everything into channel 1. But the nice thing is it names them based on the channel. So name 101, I just know that's going to end up being channel 101. Name 102, channel 102. 103. If you're a lighting designer, you can think of channel in Vision as the address rather than as the channel. But for everyone else, or if we're just thinking about this basically, we're just gonna do 1-to-1 here. So we've now patched everything. All right, everything is patched into this, and everything is patched into our lighting console. Vision's asking us if we want to save. We can hit sure, why not? And again, we're now in this tool here. So now I'm going to go over into Nomad. I'm going to hit 101 through 106 at, which is the A button, at F, which is full. F is the full key, and then I'm going to hit enter to complete the sequence. So all I did was hit 101, T for through, 106, A for at, and then F for full, enter. You can also hit at whatever level you want, 10, 20, 30, 40. And if we go back here, the lights have turned on. Okay, now you'll notice, I got one light that's up at the top of the truss, mishung, I guess. Now you'll notice here, okay, you'll notice that these are all on, but there's also some ambient light in the room. So you can control this with the global value. So up here there's an ambient thing, which this is what 1.75. If I hit 0, now it's just at the stage, and I can do if I, for the sake of being able to see the room a little bit, maybe I want it to have like 0.15 or something. That's just sort of That way there's a little bit, it's unlikely to be no bounce in the room. And then also right now there's a lot of haze, which isn't necessarily something you would want for an event. So if I bring that to 0, now we just see the result of the light. Now I didn't do any sort of adjusting or fixing with these lights before I started, but in case there is something that you in your original photometrics get a little bit off, I'm going to select, you can also select the lights by hitting them here. So I have a light selected. If I go over into the bottom right here, I can adjust, my computer's freezing a little bit, I can adjust the shutters. So if I want to cut that off the back wall, I can do that. Cut off the side of the stage. So this is another way that you can kind of adjust things. That's the other side. Adjust things to make them look a little bit nicer. Right? So you can do that all the way through so that everything feels really nice in your renderings. But the nice thing is now you can say, if I want to say 102 through 106 and I want to take, didn't mean to, backspace clears out the command line if you keep hitting it. I want to do 102, T for through, 106, A for at. I'm going to hit O for out. And then I'm just left with one single light that's on, which if any light that's highlighted automatically turns on so you can see what you're working with. But if I get rid of that, 101 is the only light on. If you remember, I put that in sort of a lavendery color before. So this is a really great way. I'm going to turn back on everything. 101 through 106 at full. So everything's on. This is a really great way to sort of show what your lights are actually going to do in space. Okay, so some ways to document this is, and again, this is, in the render keys, render still, is you can then export an image of, different cues that you're showing inside of the program. Okay, so these different cues work. Now, I'm not going to do that right now, but that's something that you could do, is make different JPEGs of your space. Now, for this file here, right, I'm also going to want you to save your Nomad file, which you can do by going to the Save As. You can pick any place you want to save a file. It just saves the file in your computer. I'd suggest in a similar place as your Vision file. And I would, just save your file like that. If you are someone who, knows ETC equipment and wants to actually record cues into the console itself here, you're more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, I'm happy just having you do these save images as your different cue states and showing me that, and just sending me a screenshot also that you're screening for. For this project, I'm really only looking for 3 cue states, right? Because it's a fairly simple overall plan. And a pro tip, if you want to save on your computer energy, once you export to Vision, you do not need to keep Vectorworks open. So what I would do actually is as soon as you have Vectorworks or Vision open and as soon as you have ETC Nomad open, close Vectorworks because that is just eating up memory that is going to make your computer slower. So that would be my advice. Let me know if you have any questions, and I can't wait.